Hi guys, it's Nicole here with Mommy Tips by Cole. This is a video that I have been wanting to do for more than a year now, and I had quite a few requests for this topic or this type of video, and I think I'll call it YouTube tips or how to start a YouTube channel. I don't know. Obviously by the time this is up you will see the title, but I have been building up all these notes in my phone and trying to organize it in the best way possible. A lot of the things are very generalized. It would relate to anybody and everybody, whatever kind of channel that you're making. But obviously my channel is a mommy channel / beauty and fashion stuff. So I might specify more on things related to that. First things first, getting started. So my biggest thing when I started my channel was to put thought into a good YouTube name. Now I think you are able to change your name, which I don't need to anymore because I made sure to pick a good name that I would like for everything. So put good thought into what your YouTube name is going to be and what it's going to stand for, and something that you will love a year from now, 5, 10 years from now, depending however long you think you're going to have your channel for. And then also something that's important is something that's catchy but easy to pronounce, especially at the same time. Something easy for people to remember and that you can use for all of your social media, and that's not crazy to spell with like different characters in the name and letters and numbers, because sometimes that can get confusing and people might think it's spelled a certain way and it's another way. Have a separate email account just for YouTube and have it be whatever your name is at so and so. So mine's mommytipsbycole at Hotmail. So that email account is all things related for my channel. And then you'll want to have that name available for across the board for all social media: Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. So if at all possible, try to check if those are available with whatever name that you pick, because it's really important for me, in my opinion, to have the same name for everything, or try your best. Next thing you want to make sure you are clear on is like, what is your purpose for your channel? What inspired you to start a channel, and what do you think you will be making videos about? I highly recommend first videos to be an introduction. Although now you can have like a trailer for your channel on YouTube, which is great. I haven't even done that yet, but that's also a great way to kind of let new viewers know what your channel is about. For video ideas, go off of what you were inspired from the beginning, but don't make that be your only reason for doing the channel, if that makes any sense. I tell this to a lot of new friends that are starting channels, like, just don't set yourself up to be not stuck. I don't want to say stuck, but just focus on one direction, because sometimes we're all growing and evolving and learning. So somewhere along the line, maybe you're doing a mommy channel and your focus is on sharing meals, or maybe down the line you'll want to share fashion tips, or maybe other DIYs or something like that. So even though you're inspired by a certain thing to begin with, of course do that, but don't feel like you have to stay with that all the time. Always feel that you can branch out in different directions, because it is your channel and you can do whatever you want with your channel, and like life in general, your channel will be growing and changing just as you are as a person. Now moving on to the more technical side of things, you don't want to go crazy with investing in so many expensive best of everything when you're just starting your channel. At least that's my opinion, because how are you to know for sure how much you will love it? So to invest so greatly into something that you're just gonna be starting to figure out, it's not really practical unless you already have like all these fancy gadgets and stuff and you're into all that stuff. A basic point and shoot camera is really great. If you look back at my first video, I was just using my digital camera. It wasn't even a camera that was meant for recording. The megapixels was so low. I know some people start out with their like webcams and stuff. So use just a basic point and shoot camera, and if anything, I would always suggest to film near a window wherever there is sunlight. So make sure that the sun is kind of facing towards you, that the sun is behind the camera, and that would be like the perfect lighting, natural lighting that you can have without investing in like some fancy lighting. Also, try to avoid too much background distractions. So like for me, this is my background at the moment. Maybe this is distracting for some people, but try if at all possible just to have a plain background, white if even, because you know that will make you stand out more. But I know when I started, I was completely oblivious, but some of my videos, the background was like the kids like running behind me or watching a movie behind me. And even when I watch it, it's so distracting because I'm looking at them, like what they're doing, because they're moving around. Once you have your camera and your lighting and your setup all down, you need to edit the video, right? So I highly recommend, and this all depend on what kind of computer you have, but if you just have a regular basic computer that takes Windows Live Movie Maker, that is a free program that you can download to mostly any computer except Mac, I believe. That's what I'm using. And a lot of people ask me, what video editor are you using when you're using Windows Movie Maker? It's not fancy, it's very easy and simple and basic. I'm sure there's YouTube tutorials how to use it. If you have already a Mac and you have iMovie, lucky you, because I want that. Now, getting comfortable in front of the camera. So obviously if you are drawn to the idea of making videos, then you're probably going to be okay in front of the camera. Some tips, which I think I am not like perfect with all of these things, but I'm trying my best to get better. So for my opinion, I think it's always important to introduce yourself when you start the video. So me, I always say, my husband makes fun of me, I'm always like, hi guys, Nicole here, Mommy Tips by Cole. So I'm saying my name and also mentioning my channel. So that way, every time a new person discovers a certain video, they will know my name and then know what my channel name is. Another thing too, when you're just starting out, practice. Practice makes perfect with anything, right? So do some test runs. So go in front of your setting, your background with the lighting and your camera, and learn your angles. And as far as angling, I always try to put the camera a little higher than I am, so it's like down towards me as opposed to the camera looking up like my nose. So this is how I angle it. Like the camera is right here and then I'm like down here. So that's how I prefer to set up my camera. Watch back what you filmed, and that will give you an idea of how you look on film and the best way to angle yourself and how you sound and so forth. So practice a few times before you like really do your full run through of your like first intro video. Another thing is important is kind of like what I'm doing on my phone here, is to organize your thoughts and topics on paper or your phone. Make notes. So if you're doing a specific topic and you're sitting in front of the camera, I always like to have my stuff like organized in the way that I want the video to flow. That way I'm not cutting and clipping and moving things around that I say. So this is already like the direction of how I want the video to go, like talking about getting started and technical stuff, and then now about getting comfortable in front of the camera. So that's how I have my thoughts organized. I just have little pinpoints of what I want to touch base in, and then I just kind of free talk it, you know, as I'm doing the video. You do have items that you want to show, like you're doing a favorites video and you're doing swatches, and just I have a little table near you and have everything ready, prepare whatever it is that you need for the video out so that you can just do your total run through. And then as far as music, I would steer really clear of using any music that's through iTunes, or go through sites that are free. Like I use a lot danosongs.com. I know there's like Audio Micro, which I need to start using, and or if you own the music or a friend gave you permission, get that written down on paper. that they gave you permission, and have that on file. Just be careful of the music that you use, because in the future, if you do end up having that video get a lot of views, you just don't want to run into trouble and then end up having to take it down, especially if it's helping a lot of people. So just be, if at all possible, don't use music. And then if you have to, make sure to use it from like websites that are royalty free. Last but not least, about being from the camera, is just to be yourself. Be you, have fun with it. Always remember what's your purpose for your channel, and then just to be yourself, because that is the number one important thing, because that's what draws people to want to watch you, is if they feel like they know you, if they feel like you're being you, like they feel like they have, if they feel like they have a connection to you, then more than likely they will continue to come back and watch you and get to know you more, and vice versa, you get to know them. And that's another beauty side of YouTube that I will elaborate on in a second. Be careful with privacy issues. This is just something that I wanted to mention to those of you that want to start getting into vlogging or documenting your lives for your kids to see in the future, even if you make the videos private and, you know, somewhere down the line. But privacy issues, just be careful not to show streets, your address, the numbers in your address. I remember one time I had my numbers on our garbage cans, and I had to like cut that. Even though maybe they are family videos, it is the internet and you're putting yourself out there in your life, and you just have to be careful. Like, don't show letters, just like common sense stuff. Don't show letters that have your address on it. If you're showing packages and hauls, don't show your address. Or maybe your refrigerator has like important bill information that you just posted it up there, and then you're like by the refrigerator filming yourself or filming somebody or something. Just don't show, just be careful of privacy. Also, as far as vlogging in public, yeah, of course it's like awkward and you might feel shy, like especially you're holding the camera, like talking to yourself. But even though it looks like really weird and you're walking around and you're like, there's people around you looking, it looks good when it's like edited in front of the camera. Nobody really sees like how awkward it is around you. And I don't know, it's really personal preference. Not everybody's comfortable with it, but even me now, like I'm not totally comfortable with it, especially depending where I'm at. But just keep these things in mind. Now moving on to something that's really, really important, is growing your channel. So basically you're going to learn as you go, and you're going to grow as you learn. I think the number one important thing as far as building your audience is to be an audience for other channels. So watch other videos, subscribe to a lot of other channels, and connect with them, network with them, and get to know other friends, build relationships. Yes, this is online. Yes, this is, you're not like meeting each other in real life, but they are still relationship. I feel like some of my best relationships that I have in my life right now, more than half of them are with friends that I have gotten so close with through YouTube. And then it kind of grows from there. You get close to them through YouTube, then you email, and then you start texting, and then maybe you meet each other in person one day, which is like the ultimate thing that has happened for me. So build those relationships, which in turn, they will become friendships. And that's like the number one thing that I've ever taken away from this whole experience, is amazing friendships. Just by supporting others in their journey, you will be completely overwhelmed and really be surprised to see that all the support that you get back. So it's kind of like whatever you put out there, you will get back. So support as many people as you can. The thing about YouTube, I think a lot of people sometimes focus on is the numbers and subscriber count, and oh, I only have like, I remember when I didn't have any, and when I had 10 I was ecstatic, when I had 100 I was ecstatic, when I hit 1,000 I was ecstatic, and then now where I'm at today, it just seems completely surreal, and I'm totally humbled by it, because I was just happy that there was even 10 people watching my channel or subscribe to my channel. So don't focus on the numbers, and if you stay consistent and patient with it, it will go up. You know, it's really about how much content are you putting out there. So if you're like putting one video a month, and less chances are that new people will find you. But if you're constantly putting videos out and reaching out to people and kind of putting it out there that you have a channel and so forth, you will see it grow. You will see it grow. Trust me. And these are all like some really important tips, and they're not really all directly related with each other, but I think that they're really important to keep in mind. One of the things is don't try to avoid comparing yourself to others. I went through different points in my journey where, yeah, I would be at a standstill and just compare maybe my subscriber count, or just compare like nonsense. It's like that's kind of feeding into the negative side of where you could go with YouTube. I think it's just really important just to stay positive and just focus on having fun, because once you start like feeling those feelings, negative feelings, then are you really still having fun? Are you really still fulfilling your purpose for starting the channel? Then maybe it's time to take a step back and take a breather, or just re-situate yourself and like always ask yourself that question: what does this fulfill, like what my purpose was for starting the channel? Am I happy with something? I wrote here: perfection is not important because people like to see the growth. I remember at one point talking with my friend Minette, Learn with Minette, who started this journey with me around the same time. I was telling her, oh my gosh, I hate these old videos, I want to take them down. And then she's like, no, don't take them down, because don't you like to, your favorite YouTubers you like to watch, don't you like to look back where they started and how their video quality was, or how that they spoke in front of the camera, and compared to how they are now? And like when you see that growth, you're like, wow, that's amazing, I could do that too. So don't be so hard on yourself about being perfect or having the best quality, having the best lighting, you know, looking the best and talking like perfect and not saying and this and that. I say all the time. It's really important, especially when you're starting out, to have that connection with your audience and to build those relationships. And that's the way that they're built is by communicating with each other, not just you talking to the camera and then them commenting and just totally ignoring what they have to say. They're taking the time to watch the video, they're taking the time to like the video, they're taking the time to comment or talk to you on Instagram or email you, just respectable enough to reply back and to answer their questions. And that's something that's a little bit more of a struggle for me at the moment with trying to balance everything, but it's really important. The connections that you make through this journey are what makes it all worthwhile. And here's Dylan, perfect timing for the end of the video. So I honestly hope that this helps somebody. I'm sure there's a bunch of things I'm missing, and I'm so sorry if this video is long and I can't cut this down shorter. I really wanted to touch base on as many things that I hope that will be helpful to you or to those of you that are starting a channel or want to. Obviously you're drawn to this for a reason, so you can do it, and if it makes you happy, why not? You will see how much passion you will have for it, and how much happiness it will bring you in your life, right? So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.